As most of you know, I'm a big fan of physical games. I collect physical video games, so obviously I follow limited run games on Twitter, and saw recently that they were going to be releasing physical versions of Axiom Verge on the Wii U, which instantly stood out to me because, to my knowledge, they hadn't done a Wii U release before. And then there was the text that accompanied this announcement in the tweet. After several years of struggle and an ongoing legal battle over a huge amount of lost money at the hands of BadLand Publishing, Axiom Verge is coming physically to the Wii U on Friday, March 29th, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. What? It goes on. BadLand Publishing currently has $78,000 of our money, and I don't believe for a second that we'll see that back without completing a legal battle. Yeah, okay, this is weird. Then there's these retweets they did from Dan Adelman, the business manager involved with the release of Axiom Verge. It's frustrating to see BadLand Publishing tweet out new games they're releasing, no doubt, funded with the money they owe LRG and Tom Happ. Badlands has literally stolen money from a disabled toddler. So I'm just scrolling through this stuff wondering, like, what the hell is happening? I had no idea about any of this stuff. The last tweet I mentioned there was the final entry in a 14-part tweet. So I went through it, and it details that essentially the Axiom Verge guys were shopping around for distributors to partner with for a physical release of the game when they were approached by BadLand Publishing with this fantastic offer. You see, the game's creator, Tom Happ, has a son who has a neurological disorder called a kernicterus. I don't know, hopefully I'm pronouncing that right. And BadLand Publishing, in their offer, said that beyond the typical revenue split, they would contribute 75% of their cut to a trust fund set up for his son's medical expenses. How generous of them. So of course they jumped at it, but it seems like soon after the deal was signed, trouble started. Adelman stated that BadLand Games wanted them to put up the money for manufacturing the physical games. And then I guess Badlands would pay them back after they got the money from retailers? Like, what the hell? You're the publisher! At least it seems that since they put up the money for the North American version, they at least got their cut from those games directly, as Happ mentioned somewhere in all this. He says they did get their cut for the NA releases. Good call if you're funding the manufacturing yourselves. Of course these idiots shouldn't be getting the money and then paying you after. And on top of that, BadLand was partnered with Limited Run Games, who gave them a $78,000 advance to manufacture Wii U versions of the game. But when it came time to pay Happ for the European sales and the money from them for his son's healthcare trust, BadLand just went dark, I guess, on them. No response, also no Wii U games were delivered, and it's gotten to the point where they have filed lawsuits against BadLand for the money owed. While they don't have a concrete number, Adelman believes it to be in the ballpark of about $200,000 just for what they owe Happ. So these were some pretty heavy accusations. I wanted to go off and talk about it right away, but with this looking so bad, I knew I had to wait and see if this BadLand company offered up some sort of response. I wasn't even familiar with them before this, and there are always two sides to every story after all, right? Lo and behold, a response was made by Louis Quintons, who is the CEO of BadLand Publishing, and my god, was it trash. It really is your paint-by-the-numbers, deadbeat statement. Oh, we never said we were unwilling to pay. He states that multiple times in this. Yeah, no one accused you of that. You're being accused of not paying, not saying you're not going to pay. He's got the, oh, our company has been going through financial difficulties, yada yada yada, and he closes it in the absolute best way, as any innocent person would do, by threatening legal action against people speaking ill of him and his company. Honestly, dude, rarely is it a good idea to say nothing when such accusations are levied against you, but if it was between this statement and just saying nothing, you probably should have just shut your mouth. This is honestly one of the most disgusting things I've ever seen in this industry, because, and here's something you gotta understand about this thing, BadLand didn't just cut out this nice deal and keep it between themselves and Tom Happ. They publicized it. As this Twitter user responded to in one of these tweets, when you bought the game, you got this message in the booklet that details the whole 75% of the money made is going to the fund for the developer's kid thing. And as this person pointed out, he bought the Switch version as well as the PlayStation Vita version of the game with this in mind. Makes sense, right? As a consumer, when you hear your money is going to a good cause, you may be more inclined to support it. And obviously for at least the EU stuff, they weren't paid a penny of this. And also keep in mind, these physical versions that BadLand did do were completed like a year and a half ago, which is why I take such huge issue with this whole, oh, we didn't say we wouldn't pay them comment. Okay, if you say you will pay them, what's the holdup? You've obviously gotten the sales, the games have gone out, pay the people what you owe them. Again, referring to that tweet that Edelman used to close out his thread, he says the thing that really frustrates him is watching BadLand tweet about the new games they're releasing that are surely being funded with their money. If you've been selling physical versions of Axiom Verge for like a year and a half now, and you've published several more games since then, you obviously are pulling in some money. Enough to have paid them something, especially with the $78,000 from Limited Run Games, right? Because that's $78,000 cash they gave you to give them Wii U versions of the game. You gave them no Wii U versions, so what the f*** happened to the money? To have just paid all these people nothing is not only unacceptable in a situation like this, given the circumstances, the fact that this was money that was supposed to be going to a sick kid's medical expenses, it's also despicable, in my opinion. At least now, the silver lining, I guess, here, the Wii U release is coming and will help Happ get some of this money he's owed back. And for Limited Run Games, just big props to them. I mean, you want to talk about a good Samaritan. They already gave up $78,000 to BadLand Publishing that they're going to have to fight to get back. And now they have to put up the cost to manufacture the games themselves. And on top of all that, they're giving Tom Happ 90% of the proceeds. It's like, damn, they're just losing their ass on this, but, you know, they're right and wrong. As far as BadLand is concerned, myself, I will certainly make sure to never purchase or endorse any of their products. I don't care how awesome of a game it is they release or how much I want to support the developer. I just can't do it, and I hope others honestly will do the same. I have said in the past that I don't like boycotts. I've said it about EA, about Activision, but this really, it crosses the line for me. You straight up exploited a man's love for his sick son to get him to sign an agreement that you're not delivering on, as well as con people into thinking their money is going to a good cause when it's clearly not. And I hope Happ and Limited Run Games sell the shit out of those Wii U copies, as well as get every penny they're owed from BadLand. And with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on this distribution disaster in the comments. How does exploiting a sick child for financial gain rank on your list of grossest things you've seen in the gaming industry? Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this discussion of the detestable actions of BadLand Publishing. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you want to keep the conversation going, hit me up on Twitter @JohnnyZakari and join my Discord, ChiGuy and Friends. Link to both in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.